Good morning and welcome to Story Time. Today we're going to learn about a little frog who wants to do something that's not very much like a frog. Let's see what it is. Let's see if he becomes successful. This is called A Frog Thing by Eric Dreikman and James Marcello. Frank wanted to fly, but he was a frog, and frogs can't fly. Frank was different though, special, aerodynamic. You can do whatever you set your mind to, his parents had promised. So Frank set his mind to flying. But he was more like falling than flying, and everyone laughed at him. Tired and discouraged, Frank buried his head in his big webbed feet, and that's how Frank's parents found him. Frank explained his problem, and there was a long silence. They thought about how to respond. Frankie, started Frank's dad finally, when we said you could do anything you could set your mind to, we meant any frog thing. See, flying is a bird thing. And just like staying underwater forever is a fish thing. Yes, you should find a frog thing, said his mom. But I want to fly. Sorry, kiddo, but frogs can't fly, explained his dad. No, said his mom. We swim, we hop, but we don't fly. They don't understand, he thought. We understand, they said, and patted Frank's shoulder. Frank sat in the dark till still and sad, but growing more determined. I'll show them, he thought. I'll learn to fly, and I'll fly right over the pond. He jumped and ran. He leapt and dove. He flapped and flapped and flapped, and finally just flopped on a leaf. He soaked his sore feet and hung his heavy head until splash! Something crashed into the water and started to sink. Frank leapt into action. It's a little bird, he thought. He swooped down, swept her up, and took her back to the shore. The mother bird hugged her baby tight. The baby coughed and wheezed and opened her eyes, safe and warm in her mother's wing. The mother bird turned and kissed Frank right on the cheek. He was very surprised and a little embarrassed. Thank you, she chirped. What a great swimmer you are. How can I ever repay you? Oh, it was nothing, ma'am, said Frank, for he was a very polite and modest frog. Oh, please, I want to do something for you. Anything? Well, suggested Frank, I really want to fly. But frogs don't fly, said the mother bird. I know, admitted Frank. And you still want to fly? Frank shrugged. I've set my mind to it. She looked in his eyes, then flew off in a flutter. Wait here, she cried. I'll be right back. And she did come back with another bird and a twig between them. Grab on, she called. He's grabbing on. Before he knew it, they were high above the trees. The morning sun streamed through the sky, and the wind whistled over Frank's slick green skin. It was a little scary at first, but he soon relaxed as they glided and rose and swooped and dove. Everyone hurried to see Frank fly. They watched from the bank as he and the birds passed overhead. "This is no ordinary frog thing," said his mother. When their flight was finished, the mother bird pulled Frank close. "You are a very special frog," she said, and with a whoosh of her wings flew back to her nest. Breathless, Frank waved. Thank you very much." Frank hopped home, somewhat lighter than before. On his way, he met his folks. "Frankie, we saw you up there, Mother Bee." "Fantastic," croaked Dad. "You can do anything you set your mind to." "Anything," agreed Mom. "Well, any frog thing, maybe," Frank explained. "The birds were the ones flying. I was just holding on. But I do think I could be one of the great swimmers." His parents smiled proudly at Frank, and as he joined his friends in the pond. Frank had wanted to fly, but he was a frog, and frogs can't fly, but they sure can swim. Wasn't that nice? He got the chance to fly. It might not have been the way he wanted to, but he did achieve something he set his mind to, and he found his talent and became the best frog he could be. And that's what we can do too. We can try, and we can set our minds to anything and do our very best. Find your talents and do your very best. Thank you for joining us. See you next time at Story Time.